Blu-ray review from AGFA and Something Weird. It's She-Mob. That is actually it's She-Mob, and it's also got another movie on here. What is it called? The Girl from Pussycat. So this is the slipcover, and then on the back we've got like a newspaper style deal. Okay, good. I was like, am I allowed to show this? Yeah, it was okay. And then here is the cover underneath the slipcover in the back. So, She-Mob. And the slipcase is done by Vinegar Syndrome. Also, in my last video, I said Witch Trap was a catalog slip. I don't know if it is or not. I don't remember. Could be wrong about that. Anyway, She-Mob. Basically is about a group of escaped convicts who, they don't really lure him, but they get this male gigolo into their lair, and they kidnap him for ransom, basically. It's a group of 4 girls. You've got the leader of the gang, Big Shim, which is the girl here you see. You've got Twig, I don't remember, who just sort of dances around a lot. She just gets up and she just dances to music like the whole time. And then the other 2 characters I don't really remember their names. Let me see. You know what? Let's I keep saying that I'm old, and I'm old, and I need glasses to see things. Let's see. No, it doesn't say the other characters' names. That's okay. But they lure Tony. Basically, Big Shim has got her girlfriend there, baby. So she's good. The other 3 ladies, they are looking for a man. They've been in jail. They are trying to have a little fun, a little quality time with a man. So Big Shim gets the idea, hey, I know this guy. I'm gonna give him a call. And they're like, hey, wait, we've heard of Tony. We know who Tony is. Yeah, Tony's all set up with this rich girl. So basically, Tony is a gigolo, but he is in sort of a relationship agreement with, what was her name? I wrote it down here. Brenda. Which, for 1968, by the way, this movie was 1968, this is a pretty interesting idea to put out there. Not idea, but interesting thing to put out there at the time, 1968. He is in a sort of a relationship with Brenda, who is the head of her company. She's like the president of her company. She's super rich, super successful. I mean, the beginning scene, this is how we're introduced to Tony and Brenda, as Brenda is in a bathtub, an in-ground bathtub in her bathroom that is literally the size, it's bigger than a hot tub. It's humongous. And they get in this bathtub and they literally, I'm not joking, slosh around for a good 5 minutes. And it's just them like sloshing around. And I mean, when I say sloshing around, I mean like you think that he's trying to like fly out of the, I don't know. Big bathtub. And she basically takes care of him. That day he's supposed to go out and get his new car, his new Thunderbird, that she just writes a check for. And so really cool that in 1968 this movie was, you know, putting that out there. So they get Tony over, and Big Shim knows him, and Big Shim's like, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're kidnapping you, and you just hang out, party. And he's just like, all right, cool. Nah, I don't care. Like, sure, extort her. Don't matter to me. She's just money to me. Basically, he doesn't say that. Anyway, so of course, this is an exploitation film. Stuff goes bad. Plans go awry. And yeah, things happen. If anyone, and no one's watching these videos, so it doesn't really matter, but if anyone knows from my old videos, I don't want to spoil anything, even if I'm not a fan of the movie, just because what if you decide to watch it? So yeah, that's the movie in a nutshell. Can I necessarily recommend it? Probably not. Not for me. It wasn't for me. I found it to be interesting, but kind of boring. You know, this is an exploitation film that borders on sexploitation. We get a lot of scenes that are nude bodies, rubbing. There's lots of nude bodies. There's lots of rubbing that seem to go on and on and on and on. The beginning scene where we're introduced to Big Shim and her girlfriend, Baby. Baby is literally on the bed, just touching herself, topless, for what seems like forever. Interesting bit, though. She has implants, and I'm always kind of shocked when I see these really older movies with someone in them that has implants, and I'm going, is that the first person that ever had? Because I don't know when implants became a thing. Definitely wasn't popular in 1968. So that's interesting to see. And this was remastered in 2K from the 35 millimeter theatrical prints. So I guess this was pieced together. So you see the scars and everything. But that stuff really, really drags the movie down for me. I think the movie as a whole, if those scenes had been sort of trimmed, I think it could have been a much more enjoyable ride. Because it is fairly interesting. Now, again, these people, this was a fairly low-budget, regional, this movie was made in Texas thing, and so these people are not actors. Now, Big Shim probably delivers the best performance. The woman that plays Big Shim, her name is Marnie Castle. She plays not only Big Shim, but she also plays Brenda. So she plays the rich woman who has the gigolo, and then she plays Big Shim, who is holding that person for ransom. Oh, also, I should mention that there's another character in the movie, Sweetie East, who is a detective who Brenda hires to get Tony back, who is wearing this, like, very skimpy, like, Barbarella-esque silver thing, and her crack is just showing the whole time. There's a lot of weird, awkward, long bottom butt shots. Like, just not in any way tantalizing at all. It's like, we're bending over to, I don't know, pick this pin up. Let's, you know. But honestly, that is something that we see a lot in these kinds of movies of the time. They kind of focus in on one thing. I don't know why I got my glasses out. Oh, this is why. It's 81 minutes, And I think if they'd have cut this down to maybe, I don't know, 72, 75 minutes and just sliced some of that silly, stuff, it would have, sped the pace of this film up and may have made it a little bit more enjoyable. Now, I think it is somewhat, at the time, quite historical in the fact that, not historical maybe, but like pretty interesting in 1968 that you've got, other than Tony, this is an all-female cast. You've got 3 very powerful female characters with Big Shim, Brenda, and Sweetie East. Sweetie East is the private detective. So my cat is freaking out right now. I don't know what it is. If this place wasn't a mess, I would literally turn the camera. Now she's got her claw stuck. Anyway, back from kitty time break. So it's pretty interesting in the fact that this was a low budget movie made in Texas, and all of the main characters, literally all of the characters, are female, which is pretty cool. So let's talk about the actual release. Again, this is released by AGFA and Something Weird. I think the slipcover is just gorgeous. I love these colors, this like pink, black, and this like kind of babyish blue. I love the back. All of these little areas are embossed. Even this cover, I think this cover is great. I love it. We get, so it is 2K from the only known 35mm theatrical prints in existence, and it looks okay. I'm sure it looks way better than it has ever. There are scenes that, now I don't know if this was due to the filmmaking process or if what this was, but there are scenes that are outside in car chase type stuff during the day that there's like a black kind of shadow over everything but the 2 cars. And I think it's because it was supposed to be night, so it was like black and white, day for night. I don't know. It's a little strange, but it looks pretty good for what it is for the time period, taking all that into effect. It looks okay. Special features wise, we get a Q&A with Something Weird's Lisa Petrucci and AGFA's Alicia Combs. It's pretty interesting. It's not too long. I'd say it's a good 10-15 minutes. And they just talk about the movie and, something weird, like a little bit about Something Weird. We get Crime Spree shorts and trailers. And then we get the extra movie, The Girl from Pussycat. I did skim through Girl from Pussycat. Kind of a similar-ish thing. Lots of rubbing and also fairly boring. So would I recommend it? It depends on what you're into. If you're into very like oddball, weird, regional exploitation / sexploitation, then maybe check it out. If you're looking for, the next, which they actually, She-Mob is an underground miracle that feels like an alt-earth faster pussycat realized by young John Waters. I don't know that that's very accurate. If you're looking for a faster pussycat, yes, I guess. Very, very, very loosely could relate it to it. But if you're looking for the next one of the next faster pussycat, or even just a really good, like, fun exploitation film, I do feel that this thing drags too much to become that. But if you're just looking to kind of have something in your collection that's of that time era and with these interesting sort of themes that are in it, then I say go for it. I would definitely at least give it a look. Maybe not purchase it. Maybe try and see if you can find it on Something Weird or something like that, or maybe, I don't know, Amazon. I didn't look. I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. Might not be, but I know a lot of the Vinegar Syndrome stuff does end up streaming. So yeah, and that's all I got. Interesting. Don't know that I would buy it, but yeah, Shima from AGFA and Something Weird. I'm gonna do. This is something that I thought of just the other day. I'm gonna do like my collection journey, because I've been doing this for quite a long time. 20 years, 25 years of my life. So I kind of want to tell that story and talk about what got me into collecting and like the journey throughout it. I don't know. Just thought it'd be something interesting. Anyway, that's all I got for today. For the 5 to 10 people watching this, I will see you next time.